What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Bleach 1000-Year Blood War Byakuya Kuchiki, which is my second favorite character from the Bleach series, coming in at number 2 right next to my boy Toshihiro. Now anyway, let's go ahead and stop wasting time and dive right into the sexy packaging. Now for the box, it's not really that much different than the one we got with Ichigo or Renji. It's still very plain. I wish they would have added a bit more color to it. As you guys can see, it's mostly white. You've got some images of Byakuya along the side right here. You got the window where you can see the figure, some logos and things. Byakuya, Bleach, Tamashii Nations, Bandai. Here's some more images. Nothing on the top. On the bottom, we've got an image of him right here with his eyes closed. And then, of course, on the back, you got some poses you can get the figure into, as well as some of the accessories. Then a bunch of stuff at the bottom I cannot read. So, yeah, nothing special. Now, let's get this guy out of the package. So it goes without saying, but if you have Ichigo and you have Renji, then you pretty much already know what to expect from this figure. Engineering-wise, it pretty much follows both of those figures tit for tat. Like, it's almost a replica, which it makes sense because they all wear the same bulky uniform. It's just different characters have certain jackets on. Some characters have thinner sleeves. Some characters have thicker sleeves. Most of them all have the very thick pants, the sandals with the socks on, and then some kind of form of arm guards. And then there's the different head sculpts. So not a whole lot different here than Ichigo or Renji. The figure's going to feel the exact same, but if you're a Bleach fan, then that's something you already know. Now, I'm definitely digging this figure just because I already like the other two, so I knew what to expect from this release. Now, anyway, let's go ahead and take a closer look at it and examine some of the details a bit further. So the head sculpt captures that non-stoic look that we get with Byakuya. It embodies his serious nature. You've got these little pins or whatever they are in his hair. I never understood what they were. Both of these little pieces right here are on ball pegs, so you can kind of lift them up and make them flare out whenever you're getting him in poses. The eyes, very, very simply painted. Not a whole lot going on here. The skin tone is a bit pale, which I think is accurate. You've got these little tussles right here that are attached to this jacket that he's wearing over his kimono, which looks really good. Blue paint inside of here. I'm really loving that. I feel like that's probably what makes this figure pop the most. Otherwise, it would just be a ton of black and whites. So yeah, I really do dig this design right here. And of course, the gold trimming that you have along the jacket. The sleeves, again, are pretty much the same as Renji's, but he's got his different type of hand guards right here, which I don't think they're guards. I think they're just like little sleeves or kind of like gloves. I'm not entirely sure, but they look really cool. Pants and knees are the exact same. It seems like they really are going to continue, if I can talk, sticking with this style of knee, which it doesn't bother me, but I think it's why a lot of people are passing on these figures. But I mean, they pose fine, so I'm not someone who's going to be bothered by that. To be honest, the only real issue I have with this figure is the same one I had with Renji, is this little ball peg right here. I don't like how it protrudes out of the figure instead of it just being a hole and you pegging the sword into it, because sometimes these characters don't have their swords on their waist, and so whenever you're posing them without it, you just got this little ball peg sticking out right here. Hopefully they don't do that with the Demon Slayer figures, but we'll touch basis on that when we get to it. Anyway, all the way down to the sandals, looks very, very good. You've got the logo painted right here on the back. I don't know what that says. Someone tell me in the comments, feel free. And then at the bottom, you got the little marks right here at the lower part of his jacket. So overall, very good looking figure. A bit more color than Renji and Ichigo, but not much because it's still mostly black and white other than the blues here. But anyway, let's go ahead and put him back so we can see how tall he stands. When it comes to the height on this guy, to the top of his head, he is right at 6 inches. So basically fitting in scale with the average SH Figuarts. Now, I do feel like the Bleach figures should be a bit taller, maybe 6.5 inches, at least 6.25. That's just my personal opinion, but as long as they scale well together, I guess it's fine. Of course, we will be looking at some size comparisons a little bit later on in the review, so we can see how he stacks up next to Ichigo and Renji. Articulation wise, he looks up only about this much, which is fine. And that's as much as you're going to get even if you pull the hair out by the ball pegs here. So not a whole lot, but he does look down very well. So that's really good. He does get really good tilt and turn. So you can make Byakuya be very expressive, as he sometimes is, but not very much. The arms go up and out that much, which that's great. You really can't ask for better. Butterfly joints work very well, extremely effective. Sword swinging poses are not going to be a problem at all. He does have a bicep swivel, which is great. Double jointed elbows that come in about that much, that's fine by me. Hands are on a ball peg, so you can move them around just fine, only being hindered a bit by the sleeves that he's wearing. Now at the torso here, this is where I think the best articulation comes in, because he leans forward quite far, especially with everything that he's wearing. Not back much, but then you do get some movement at the diaphragm, and then you get even further than I just said, actually. So he crunches forward very far. That's good. And then he does turn at the waist also. When it comes to the legs, he kicks out about that much. Not that he even needs to. He does kick back a bit, and then he can do the splits just fine. He does have a thigh swivel, single jointed knees, but I mean, that's almost double jointed range. You really can't expect more from this knee here. I'm forever going to stand by what I said about these being fine. Now, when it comes to the foot, they go down about that much, up about that much. He does have really good ankle rocker, and then he does have a toe hinge. So articulation wise, I mean, literally, you can get this guy in whatever pose you want to. And it's not like he needs to be extremely dynamic, because he doesn't do anything other than fight with a sword. So yeah, and also, just because I didn't mention it, these right here are separate pieces, and so they also help with that articulation whenever you're moving the arm around. So yeah, great job, great job. I am forever going to stand by the articulation on these being superb. And I got caught up bragging on this guy and forgot to say that these little ends of his coat are on hinges. And so you can pose him with them blowing as well. You can have them inward or outward, however you want, and they're going to sit still just fine. So yeah, forgot about that. When it comes to the accessories for this guy, Tamashii Nations once again is staying pretty consistent with what they're doing. Now, he comes with a neutral expression and a pair of fist hands right out of the packaging. He comes with a pair of stylish reaching pose type hands. He comes with a pair of relaxed hands. He comes with a pair of sword gripping hands. And then he comes with one left relaxed hand, which I think this is for when he has his hand on the sheath. Now, speaking of the sheath, of course, he comes with his sword. He comes with a sheath version of his sword. And then he comes with what I'm assuming is supposed to be him utilizing his Bankai, Sinbon Sakura. I think that's how you say it, which this is cool. I would have loved to get some kind of effect piece for this, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be doing that with the Bleach figures. Now, in terms of facial expressions, he comes with this like slightly looking to the side, irritated face. He comes with one with his eyes closed, and this is for when he's activating his Bankai. He comes with Bankai. I don't know what I was saying, but he comes with this kind of angry-ish, more aggressive attacking face. And then last but not least, he comes with a slightly scared expression, which is the same thing I know we saw with Ichigo, and I think we saw it with Renji as well. So yeah, I wish he would have came with a more angry attacking face. Byakuya is not the most expressive at all, but I still think it would have been cool to throw in. Either way, again, they're sticking with consistency, and I don't know. I think it's about time they spice things up, because I don't think these figures are selling like that. So hopefully with Kenpachi, who's scheduled to be the next release, they kind of do something a little bit different. Moving on to size comparisons, here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts 1000 Year Blood War Renji and the SH Figuarts 1000 Year Blood War Ichigo. As you can see, the scaling is a tad bit different on all of them. Ichigo and Byakuya are close to the same size, while you have Renji, who's actually super tall. I do wish that they scaled all about the same height as Renji, but I mean, that's fine. They look really good together, and hopefully they do mix up the scales a bit more, because I know Kenpachi's supposed to be taller than all three of them. Now, with Byakuya being one of those really dope badass side characters, I figured it's only right if I do some size comparisons with him next to some other badass side characters. Here we have him standing next to the SH Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness Megami Fushiguro, the SH Figuarts Revived Naruto line Sasuke Uchiha. This is him from Shippuden. And then we have him standing next to the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super CGI Vegeta. Standing next to some other anime figures, here he is standing next to a Figma Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness Honored One, Satoru Gojo. Happy birthday to the GOAT himself. We also have him standing next to the Reveltech My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia Bakugo, and then the Figma Boku no Hero Academia My Hero Academia Deku. Last but not least, for some random extras, here he is standing next to a Metacom Toy or Mafex Batman Hush Nightwing, a Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home Final Swingsuit Spider-Man, and a Jax Pacific Supersonic. Now, when it comes to my final thoughts on these figures, I gotta be honest. I feel like the more of these we get, the more enjoyable this line is going to be. Because when I got Ichigo, I was just kind of like, okay, cool, I got Ichigo. When I got Renji, it was just like, oh, okay, I got Renji to add to the team. And then now here we have Byakuya, and we got a trio going on. And so I'm like, okay, I'm liking these a little bit more. I truly feel like the more of these I get my hands on, the more I'm going to continue to enjoy this line. Now, I don't know much about Thousand Year Blood War. I've seen a couple of episodes, but I do really hope that they go back and dive into what was the original Bleach, because I feel like that's the only thing that's going to help this line sell. From what I've seen, this line is still readily available everywhere. Like, these figures don't sell out during pre-orders. These figures don't sell out after pre-orders, and it's scary, man, especially if you're a fan of Bleach. Now, I myself am just a casual collector. If this line ends, it's not going to bother me much, but there were a lot of people asking for Bleach lines. So guys, I tell you this all the time. The only way to get the figure that you want is to continue pre-ordering what's put out. Now, granted, even if it's characters or costumes that you don't want at the time, let's not forget those releases are going to fund future releases and keep the line going. I would hate to see this line end. It's, like I said, not going to bother me much because, I mean, I got at least 3 characters, and more than likely I'm going to get 4. I think they'll probably make 3 or 4 more. But I think it is time Tamashii Nation switches it up with this line. Hopefully they go back and make some classic characters. But if not, I think they're going to have to start throwing in more accessories. They're going to have to do something to make these figures appeal to the audience a bit more, because I don't know, man. I just don't think this line is doing. Now, granted, it could be selling more than I think, but when I'm seeing One Piece figures sell out instantly, Dragon Ball figures sell out instantly, Naruto figures sell out instantly, and these are just still up for pre-order even after release, it just worries me. So that's my take on it. Overall, I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep all of my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.